Thanks for joining us for this look at the best original reporting from KPBS News this week. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Coming up, the talent pool south of the border. Tech companies find success in Tijuana as they try to fill open jobs. A premiere that takes on a deeper meaning. The San Diego Opera launches a new show from a longtime member who passed away just weeks ago. And supercharging the move to electric vehicles as the EPA announces aggressive new mileage standards. First, they already have a big win against vaping companies under their belt, and now a local law firm wants to take on social media companies for the impact that they're having on kids. MG Perez tells us what's at stake.
It isn't the best spring break weather, but Miguel Sanchez brought his grandchildren here to Coronado Tidelands Park for some fun this afternoon. His twin grandsons and granddaughter enjoy playing outside. They also enjoy their cell phones and playing on social media like most of their classmates.
They could have social media to make more friends because usually that's where you find more friends and build more communication.
I use it sometimes for learning and sometimes for fun.
It is not the fun these attorneys are worried about. The Franz Law Group has filed a lawsuit representing 21 school districts around the country. The districts claim the mental health of their students is being hurt by algorithms social media platforms use to get children hooked.
We don't need these secret little algorithms out there trying to get you addicted when you don't know you're being addicted. So we're going to try to prevent that. That's the key to this whole case.
The 107-page lawsuit lists evidence of mental health harms suffered by children using social media for hours every day. It specifically targets the major social media platforms and their parent companies that include Meta, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Alphabet, owner of YouTube. Here in San Diego County, there are two districts involved in the social media lawsuit: Coronado Unified School District and also Oceanside Unified. According to attorneys, in total, there are more than 200,000 students covered by the lawsuit across the country. The Franz Law Group has most recently gone after vaping products. They joined lawsuits from several states against Juul Labs. Just this week, taking part of the $462 million settlement Juul agreed to pay for marketing nicotine to minors. Social media is next.
It would help make social media use more healthy, and it would be better for children to not be consuming these negative images all the time.
The social media companies aren't saying much about this new lawsuit, but TikTok's CEO used his platform to talk about what his company is doing.
I'll be testifying before Congress later this week to share all that we're doing to protect Americans using the app and deliver on our mission to inspire creativity and to bring joy.
Miguel Sanchez says he'll keep close watch on his grandchildren, on the playground and online. MG Perez, KPBS News.
Some of the toughest jobs to fill right now are IT jobs, with nearly 1 million openings last year, according to federal data. KPBS border reporter Gustavo Solis tells us how tech companies are looking to Tijuana for help.
This office has everything you'd expect from a Silicon Valley tech company. Free food, art-covered walls, board games, and stunning views. Except, these views aren't of the Golden Gate Bridge in the Bay Area. They're of Tijuana's skyline and the Mexican border. And this office is a sign of Tijuana's booming tech sector, which is mostly fueled by the fact that there aren't enough American engineers to fill IT jobs north of the border.
I do see that the reason of our existence, if you will, is because there is this extreme need for engineers in the U.S., and right now they're not meeting that demand.
That's Omar Parra, engineering director with iTijuana. iTijuana connects American companies with Mexican talent.
We built a team for you.
Those teams include everything: engineers, managers, site directors, not to mention software developers well-versed in multiple languages, like
iOS development, Android, full stack, web, cloud, DevOps, DBAs, and so on.
iTijuana currently has 400 employees contracted with American companies. Parra expects that number to grow to 1,000 within 2 years. Fernando Torres calls this the pandemic layoff boom. He works for SoftTech. the largest IT nearshoring company in Mexico.
Ahorita sí estamos entrando como que en un boom que tiene que ver con también los layoffs que están sucediendo.
Torres says American companies increased their workforce at the start of the pandemic, but started laying off those new hires in January. Now they're reverting back to pre-pandemic staffing levels.
Y complementando esos servicios
Torres says that the companies that laid off workers are now seeking more cost-effective options in Mexico.
We had so much work that we couldn't keep up with it.
David Fishman is seeing the same thing. He's CEO of the Sparrow Company, a recruiting firm that helps companies find workers in Mexico. He says that the pandemic's disruption to global supply chains forced companies to think outside the box. And for a lot of them, that meant Mexico.
Not just the big multinationals, but the smaller, the $50 million to $100 million company saying, hey, we'd like to add IT staff. Everybody was going to Mexico.
There is so much interest in Mexican IT workers that it's getting harder to find them. Fishman says they try to lure workers with more money, but now it's more common that those workers will get a counteroffer to stay.
Let's say that the candidate's making 45,000 pesos. We offer 60,000 pesos, which is a decent raise, okay? And then they offer them 70 to stay, okay? And then they turn our customer down.
It was very interesting when we started.
Back in Tijuana, Parra hopes to avoid this competition by investing in developing local talent. Tijuana has multiple partnerships with Tijuana's universities.
What we've done is invest heavily in programs like the trainee program with universities.
Tijuana has more than 35 public and private universities and more than 14,000 students enrolled in engineering and technical programs. Dozens of them work as part-time trainees at iTijuana.
We actually put them in real possession, real jobs, real teams, real projects.
A group of students toured the iTijuana offices during our visit. They could be working there one day, and they finished the tour with a round of applause. Gustavo Solis, KPBS News.
One of the biggest trends in tech right now is artificial intelligence. KPBS sci-tech reporter Thomas Fudge checked in with one of San Diego's biggest tech companies to see how it's embracing AI.
The Artificial Intelligence Center at San Diego State is trying to create programs that use AI to solve problems in many different settings. But once the programs are created on a supercomputer, they have to start working on devices that aren't so super.
When it's trained and we're past this development stage, it's going to need to exist on devices that can actually run them, but aren't so, they don't take a lot of power or that can handle these algorithms. So Qualcomm really fits in the more of the edge in actually using AI.
Qualcomm is pushing the limits of technologies like artificial intelligence.
A Qualcomm promotional film featuring actress Michelle Yeoh is the company's effort to try to link Qualcomm with AI in the mind of the market. Don McGuire is Chief Marketing Officer for Qualcomm. He says the coming growth of AI poses a difficult question.
With the advent of generative AI and these large language models, people just automatically expect that when they're querying ChatGPT, for example, and these answers are coming back, where is that coming from? How is that happening? Today, it's happening primarily in the cloud, right, at a data center somewhere.
The problem with that, he says, is data centers don't have the power and the economic model to accommodate artificial intelligence as its use increases.
So really what's going to happen in order for this all to work at scale is AI has to become hybrid, meaning a certain amount of computation and behavioral algorithms have to be done on device as well as in the cloud.
And that, McGuire says, is where Qualcomm comes in. He says on-device AI not only applies to smartphones and laptops, but to manufacturing programs and to cars. One Qualcomm product for cars is called a digital chassis that includes driver assist functions that fall just short of driverless car technology.
We're not at full autonomy yet, but there's a lot of driver's assistance going on in level 2, level 3, and vehicles from $30,000 all the way to $100,000, like like lane assist, for example, like detecting if you're sleepy, if you're drowsy, and giving you a notification that maybe you should pull over and get a cup of coffee.
Marketing computer chips for artificial intelligence can be a challenge since chips are not the kind of things consumers relate to. But Qualcomm is trying to get consumers who care about technology to become aware of Qualcomm's digital platforms and everything from computers to cars.
But someday, ideally as the CMO of Qualcomm, I want a consumer walking into a dealership and saying, hey, is this car powered by Snapdragon? That would be ideal.
Thomas Fudge, KPBS News.
And here are some of the most read stories this week at kpbs.org. SDG&E is proposing a flat fee to utility bills based on income. San Diego State's run to the national championship game could bring lasting benefits beyond basketball. And even though the deadline is extended this year, our Q&A on tax advice is getting a lot of views. Here's that story from Melissa May.
This year, San Diego County residents do not have to have their taxes completed by April 18th.
What we've been told by our IRS partners is that the tax extension to October 16th is available for San Diego County residents and as well as other counties that qualify who were impacted by the storms.
San Diego County residents who make less than $60,000 a year also qualify for free tax preparation.
We still recommend that folks, if they're low and moderate income, to get their taxes filed by April 18th, because that's when the bulk of the free tax preparation services will be available.
Since the start of this year's tax season, the EITC, or Earned Income Tax Credit Coalition, have completed over 11,000 tax returns. That's almost 2,000 more than last year. And $20 million in refunds have been issued.
We want to be coordinated in our approach so that all of the organizations that do this service are giving out the same message and providing high-quality services to the community.
This coalition is made up of over 35 different organizations throughout the county that provide free tax preparation services.
In North County, East, Central, South Bay as well. And all someone has to do is call 211, and they can make an appointment at any of the locations throughout the county.
All of the coalition's partners are certified and established in the community.
But they care so much about the community. They're very friendly. They make the environment very warm and welcoming, and it's not intimidating at all.
Carl and May Pino have used this free tax assistance for years.
This is such a great service. We enjoyed the time being here, and it's so efficient. And the best part is we get all this great service for nothing. We don't have to pay a penny. The people here are very understanding. If you are missing something, you will have the time to probably go get whatever you're missing and come back, and they will still help you.
For those who are unsure if they qualify for the extension or would like to make an appointment for free tax preparation services, should call 211. Melissa May, KPBS News.
Nicholas Reveles died last month from pancreatic cancer. He was the director of education at San Diego Opera for more than 2 decades. And this weekend, his opera, Ghosts, will have its world premiere at the Balboa Theater. KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando has a preview.
Last summer, Nicholas Reveles was debuting one opera at San Diego International Fringe Festival and prepping another for a world premiere at San Diego Opera.
I'm very excited about that, to be produced by my home company, as well as, it's a big professional opera company in the United States, so I hope we'll get some notice for it.
And what delighted him even more was that the opera was in a genre he loved.
The horror is up front and center.
Blood and bile, blood and bile. I watched him heave, cough.
But last October, Reveles was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He died just 6 weeks before this Friday's world premiere of Ghosts, an evening of 3 one-act horror-inspired operas. But with a title like Ghosts, perhaps he knew he would be haunting the rehearsal hall.
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, absolutely. We joke about it, it's in the text. We can say, oh, that's Nick right there for sure, that moment. Or it feels like somehow we're still exchanging ideas and asking for his blessing on the choices we make.
He gave me this beautiful crystal
that I keep in my pocket or by my music stand, and every time I'm stuck, I'll just grab the crystal and hold it and flip it around in my hand, and all of a sudden the ideas will come to me. So Nick is definitely here with us, laughing, crying, getting very involved, and making sure that we're going to present an amazing premiere to commemorate him.
And then when it's over, total blackout. I mean, Nick would love that.
Back in December, Revelis was in hospice, but still working with director John de Los Santos.
I just told him, creepy, I want jump scares. I want everything a horror movie would have.
Revelis and de Los Santos bonded over some shared passions.
Well, Nick loved horror, and I love horror, but we also love opera. And I think that something that both horror and opera have in common is they elicit strong emotions, strong feelings.
I'm a great believer that you can approach anything through opera. I absolutely believe in the genre. I think when you sing things, the story, the drama is more heightened. It becomes more important. It becomes bigger, and I like the bigness of that.
That was Revelis from May last year. In December, the passion was still there, but cancer was taking a toll.
It is an opera in black and white. And when I think horror, I think black and white. And when I say that, I mean that the sound colors, the colors from the orchestra are even kind of black and white.
Maybe that's because when Revelis was 8 years old, his mother introduced him to James Whale's 1931 black and white film, Frankenstein.
And from then on, I was hooked on horror. I don't know what it is really, but there's something about the darkness and about being scared and about telling a story that might frighten people even just a little bit that I've always enjoyed.
De Los Santos enjoyed collaborating with Revelis to define the ghosts of the opera.
Ghosts are not figures in sheets. They are memories. They are regrets. They are unknown and unanswered questions that we have to confront.
Ghosts can be trauma, can be experiences, can be people who we aren't able to shed emotionally from our lives.
People like Revelis that we want to hold on to. Ghosts not only let San Diego Opera pay tribute to his memory, but it also provides General Director David Bennett with a perfect opportunity to offer audiences a detour from traditional opera.
That's why it's really an honor for us to produce this, because there's so much in this work that's unusual and unexpected, but there's also so much in it that is in many ways traditional.
Revelis expressed hope that the opera would have a future beyond this weekend, and Ghosts would be the perfect legacy for a man who devoted his life to being an ambassador for opera and whose heart always belonged to horror. Beth Accomando, KPBS News.
And one way to stay on top of our arts coverage is with the KPBS Arts newsletter. It's just one of the many that we offer. And to sign up, just go to kpbs.org and click on Newsletters. This week, San Diego County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher received a vote of no confidence from his fellow board members. As Amitha Sharma reports, Fletcher's scandal is just the latest to take down a local politician.
Nathan Fletcher's abrupt resignation from the San Diego County Board of Supervisors last week puts him in a notorious pantheon of local Democratic politicians, once promising political careers scuttled by sexual misconduct allegations or matters related to sex.
There tends to be a view that San Diego is this like little Iowa on the Pacific Ocean.
Carl Luna is a Mesa College political science professor.
It's just a nice little quiet place. We have a ridiculously large number of scandals, and that's a sign that people are not holding people accountable.
The list spans decades. In 2005, Michael Zucchet and Ralph Insunza, two rising Democrats on the San Diego City Council, were convicted of taking illegal campaign cash from a strip club owner. Zucchet's conviction was overturned. Insunza went to prison maintaining his innocence.
I believe I have done nothing wrong. I believe that what I did was all within the law.
10 years ago, Democrat Bob Filner's tenure as San Diego mayor ended after just 9 months when 13 women accused him of making unwanted sexual advances.
I am embarrassed to admit that I have failed to fully respect the women who work for me and with me, and that at times I have intimidated them.
In 2016, Supervisor Dave Roberts, the lone Democrat on the board, lost his re-election bid following a slew of allegations that included an inappropriate relationship with an office aide. Last year, a man accused Will Rodriguez Kennedy, the then head of the San Diego County Democratic Party, of sexual assault. Then, last week, a former MTS spokesperson filed a lawsuit alleging that Fletcher sexually harassed and assaulted her. A day later, he announced his resignation. These scandals have not only been personally ruinous, they've short-circuited eras when Democrats seemed poised to dominate local politics. Consider that Filner had been the first Democratic mayor to be elected in San Diego in 20 years. Following his resignation, Republican Kevin Faulconer won a special mayoral election and was in office until 2020. Fletcher's downfall comes less than 3 years after Democrats gained a majority on the Board of Supervisors for the first time in decades. But even some adversaries of Democrats say the sex scandals should be looked at individually rather than a fatal flaw of the party.
As somebody who has worked against that party for 40 years or so, if I had an opportunity to make some kind of sweeping generalization, I'd be happy to do so. It's not there. It just isn't.
Longtime Republican strategist John Kern says the sex scandals are more about the law of averages. There are more Democrats in office than Republicans, and he says it's about the kind of people who are drawn to politics.
With my clients and myself personally, because I was involved in politics and working in staff, I had 2 rules. Keep your fly zipped and your hand out of the till.
Mix in the trappings of elected office, and you've got the potential makings of a sex scandal, according to former Los Angeles Times reporter Tony Perry, who covered many San Diego political scandals.
These were men who had power, and they used it, and with power came a sense of entitlement.
But Luna says the party isn't blameless. The rumors about Fletcher were out there.
The San Diego Democratic Party, while it is doing great political success, tends to have a conveyor belt system of how you move up. You start at city council, you move up to the board of supervisors, assembly, and if you're on that train, the people below you and above you need you to stay there. So there's a tendency to not want to hold people accountable.
He said the entire Democratic power structure in the county should look inward.
For San Diego Democrats, they are in such an assured position to win, they can start to be choosier about who they're going to put into office.
Amita Sharma, KPBS News.
A plan is in the works to drastically increase the number of zero-emission cars on America's roads. Jacob Ayer has details on a plan that's even more aggressive than what we've seen in California.
Climate change is an urgent problem, and the federal government is proposing new regulations on car tailpipe emissions to try and help make a difference. On Wednesday, the Environmental Protection Agency proposed standards that could require electric vehicles to account for 2/3 of new car sales in the U.S. by 2032.
Well, electric cars are here for sure, and the federal government is attempting to accelerate that transition.
UC San Diego professor and environmental economist Mark Jacobson says the limits are the strictest ever proposed at the federal level. But California already has some regulations in place that all new cars, pickup trucks, and SUV sales in the state have to be electric or hydrogen by 2035. Jacobson says the trick with the new federal proposal is going to be making enough affordable EV cars, adding a lot more charging stations, and most importantly, getting people to buy in.
We're going to transition to electric vehicles almost certainly around the world at some point, potentially very soon, maybe not for another 10, 15 years. It's not clear, right? And so the federal government is trying to speed up that transition, particularly in states that are not California or not the states following California's lead.
Transportation accounts for nearly 30% of all greenhouse gas emissions in the U.S., according to the EPA. Jacobson says the effects from this proposal could greatly reduce the effects of climate change, especially if the country's electric grid is also decarbonized. It'll also improve the health of communities across the country and in San Diego.
The implications are profound for the environment, for sure, for local air quality. Electric cars are fantastic at removing pollution from cities.
The EPA will accept public comments on its proposal for 60 days, then issue its final regulation. The federal plan would represent the strongest push yet towards a shift from gas and diesel-powered cars to battery-powered vehicles. Jacob Ayer, KPBS News.
This week, KPBS traveled to Orange County, where federal railroad officials got an up-close look on the work needed to relocate train tracks away from the coastline. North County reporter Tanya Thorne has the latest on this vital connection between San Diego and Southern California.
Portions of the coastal rail line need to be relocated, and Representative Mike Levin wants to show the urgency to federal officials firsthand. On Thursday, Federal Railroad Administrator Amit Bose joined Levin on a train ride from Sorrento Valley to Solana Beach for an up-close look at the Del Mar Bluffs.
It's just a matter of time. I think we all know before these tracks will be over the cliff's edge, and this vital transportation link continues to be at risk.
Levin highlighted how coastal erosion and climate change will continue to impact the bluffs and make the relocation project more urgent.
Their operation will be at risk unless we take the actions necessary, not just for the short term, but again for the long term.
One operation that's already been interrupted is the San Clemente rail line, which has been undergoing emergency repair work since September.
That's been 6 months, and we know that's taken a great toll on the millions of passengers, roughly 8 million passengers a year that travel on that corridor, as well as the economic impact of freight not being able to travel as it normally would.
Since rail service is still down, Levin and Administrator Bose drove to San Clemente to see the progress. There, Levin announced plans to seek additional federal funding for the rail relocation projects.
Just as we've been working with stakeholders on the planning and the relocation in Del Mar, we must do the same in Orange County. So in the coming days, I'm going to be formally submitting a federal community project request for $4 million to support the OCTA, the Orange County Transportation Authority, in conducting a study for the rail relocation in Orange County spanning 11 miles.
Administrator Bose said the time to ask for federal funding is now, thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure law.
It provides the funding, the tools, and framework to lay the foundation for the 21st century rail system that the country needs and that's so long overdue.
The announcement comes as transportation agencies prepare to restore full passenger rail service between San Diego and Orange County on Monday. Tanya Thorne, KPBS News.
We hope that you enjoyed this look at KPBS News this week. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Thanks for joining us.